Everyone, welcome back aboard the SV Californica. Jack and we have a fun trip planned. We're gonna sail up to Newport Beach. So it's actually where I grew up, but we're gonna go to a legendary spot. It's called Minney's Yacht Surplus. I gotta get some things for the boat, get my ground tackle figured out, and instead of driving there like we normally do, we're gonna sail up there. More than likely we're gonna be motor sailing. This will just be a passage video. Coming up after that, I'll actually go up to the upper Newport Bay, which is a very important birding area, a saltwater marsh habitat, which would be fun to point out as well. So yeah, let's see what we go find, and let's go sailing. Oh, Jack. Got the sails up. We're gonna motor out just a little bit further before we'll tack and make our course for Newport Beach. Did you get it? Did we get it? All right, so Jack and I just picked up one of the most annoying pieces of litter and trash that we come across. These are mylar balloons. It's a huge problem with, as you see, just falling into the ocean, up into wildlands. They go somewhere after they're released. And so it's, use caution. If you don't need to buy them, don't. I don't know if they're gonna do legislation on it, but animals eat these. It's just huge pieces of trash, and a lot of times it takes them a while to break down. But we find them everywhere, and I've talked to and heard stories of whale watchers and other people that pick up thousands of these throughout the year. So just something to be aware of, that when you buy these balloons and they're released, they do go somewhere, and typically that's into the wildlands and can cause some issues. All right, so we have the Newport Jetty right in our sights now. We have Big Corona on one side, and we have the famous Newport Wedge on the other. We're gonna cruise in, go find our slip. What do you think, Jack? All right, we just very not gracefully, if that's a word, ungracefully, doused the sails, tied them off before entering into the jetty. I'm definitely gonna look into lazy jacks. I think it might be worth it. I can barely do my own bed sheets most of the time, so I think something like a lazy jack will do us real well. But Jack's half bulldog, so he's the real lazy jack here. And he's with the boy. We're just entering into the jetty right now. I'd like to have got some footage of Big and Little Corona, but I had to maneuver away from these guys because they literally almost just ran right onto our transom up our stern. So I'm gonna keep an eye on here, but we're entering into the jetty now to Newport Beach. Also, growing up here, I remember sometimes on big swells, if it hits right, it will break right in between the jetty. And so it looks like a little bit of a swell coming in right now. Not enough to really crest, but something to be cautious of as well as you come into Newport Harbor here. Growing up, I remember some friends, if it gets a real big swell and hits perfectly at the jetty mouth, it can actually break. And I remember my friends surfing it and getting tickets from the harbor patrol for doing something like that. So real exciting time. So there's two anchorages in Newport Beach. The other one is outside of the jetty at Big Corona, which is a nice sandy beach. The other is right here at the south end of Lido Island. And inside the marina here, you're gonna have way more clay and things like that, silts. It's kind of a muddy floor, so that's probably has a better holding. But yeah, check out the Newport Beach City website, they'll have information on all the rules and regulations here. I think you need a permit. I think you need also it depends on how long you stay. And I think it's 72 hours you're allowed to be here, and always have someone on board. All right, good morning from Newport Beach. Jack and I had a nice restful night last night here at Marina Park. It's a pretty nice facility. We're definitely the smallest boat here, but that's all good. A lot's changed since I've been to Newport in a while, and one of the things is they built this entire new park with restaurants and all kinds of recreational facilities. So that's actually the same place that we will have our restrooms and showers here. But yeah, we're gonna go have breakfast there and see how it is. Okay, we're on our way to Minney's. My coworker Randy is picking me up, and she's gonna use some of the nautical type things in her coastal gardens and things like that. And I'm gonna go try to figure out my whole laundry list of things I need for the boat, such as an anchor rod, ground tackle, everything. So.
I'm not going to deny you getting 1,000 feet of line, but I'm going to tell you right now that would be an extreme unhappy.
Yeah, I like it too much.
All right, we're back from Minney's, and here's our haul for the day. So I got another 200 feet of 1/2-inch nylon road to add to my 50 feet of chain. So interesting story. I've had so many different conversations on how much chain I should have, and I almost feel like I went way too overboard at first, but I think I'm just gonna stick with my 50 feet now. 28-foot boat. If you guys have any suggestions, you know, leave that in the comments. But I think that coupled with 200 feet of this 1/2-inch should do pretty well. Currently I have about 150, so I just added another 50 to it. So comfortably, I think that'd be okay for now. We'll see how it is, and I can always adjust it later. I also got a new winch handle. This one's a nice heavy duty stainless steel. My last one broke. It was kind of hardened plastic and it broke on me. So I have another one that's plastic that does okay for a backup, but this one is just nice, heavy, sturdy. It should last me a while. I got a new safety harness. This one fits me a little bit better than the last one. Last one was the previous owner's, so it wasn't quite for me. That, and I also got a little loop to put the Burgee flag on, the rigging for that, and some shirts from Minney. I got a blue one for me, a red one for Clara, and Jack seems pretty happy with the haul today. What do you think? All right, just unhooked the bike. I'm gonna go bike down the peninsula all the way to the jetty and see the dirty old Wedge, see if there's a swell coming in, and just how crazy that surf spot can be. It's a legendary surf spot here in Newport Beach, so let's go check it out. All right, everyone, I'm here at 10th Street in Newport Beach Peninsula. I was biking down a little ways and I came across this other coastal sand dune habitat. So what I'm seeing here is there's some verbena umbellata, the pink sand verbena that I saw at Trestles in the last video we posted. But you can see it's growing here in its natural habitat in the sand dunes, but it's being swamped out by a lot of this introduced species that a lot of people may not know is not native. This is from, I believe, South Africa, called Iceplant. And so many people may know that, especially if you grew up around the beaches. It's a common thing out on these bluffs and beaches and slopes for erosion and erosion control. And a real drought tolerant plant as well. It's a succulent. And really, as they get real mature, especially older stands, especially if they're irrigated, they can actually get real heavy and end up pulling whole masses of the hillside off. So it's kind of counterintuitive as a erosion control plant. So one of the major problems with this ice plant is you can see that it just takes over whole stands, and it is an invasive species, meaning that it does invade into territories and displaces a lot of these native species. Here we have the pink sand verbena that we saw down in Trestles, and then also this other species you see commonly together with it is the beach evening primrose, or Camissoniopsis cheiranthifolia. Alright, so here we are at Wedge, also known as the dirty old Wedge. You can see is a swell comes and bounces off this jetty and creates almost a doubled up wave that is some of the largest waves you'll find in Newport Beach. You gotta kind of have to wait for a nice good south swell, but this is a famous beach for body surfing, bodyboarding, surfing as well. But it's been featured in a famous surf movie, The Endless Summer, and many others. It's a gem here in Newport Beach. Right across, on the other side of the jetty, is Big Corona, and that's actually one of the only other anchorages here in Newport, and we're gonna go and anchor there on our way out tomorrow. Grew up going to that beach quite a bit, so it'll be fun to finally anchor with my boat out in front of it. And we're off. We just untied from Marina Park. Got my trusty Jack with me. He's all excited, and we're about making the long haul out the channel to Big Corona. And Jack and I are gonna anchor there, and we'll have lunch on the hook, and we'll make our way back to Dana Point. All right, so Jack and I have just successfully anchored at Big Corona, which is just outside on the south side of the jetty at Newport Beach. So it's a sandy beach, so if you plan to anchor, this is one of your options. But Jack and I, we're about on 3 scope right now, and the mantis is holding well, and just for a lunch hook. So when you're on a lunch hook, might as well have lunch. Want some burgers? We're about to make our way home to Dana Point. So I want to thank you all for joining us on this video. Please like and subscribe for more, and we'll see you on the next one.